Hi everybody, Rez the Collector here, and this is going to be a collection update video. It's been quite a while. I know I've been gone for a while. Basically in the last couple of years, my wife and I have gone through some major life changes, and things have been good in most aspects, but it takes away time from the collecting and reviewing hobby. But I am hoping that I've got a lot that needs to be reviewed, and I'm hoping to get back into reviewing now that my son is in school and my daughter hopefully will take her naps. I apologize for the shakiness, and this is, I think I said, my second or third attempt at this video because they were far too long, and it just would not upload to YouTube. It just kept refusing. I tried multiple different ways and it just would not upload. So I'm going to go ahead and film it again, and look, we're already a minute in. So here we go. What I did was I moved a lot of my display cases around so that I could have all of my Superman and DC stuff on one side of the room, and then everything else, basically the Star Wars, Marvel, and Transformers, all on the other side of the room. I really wanted my collection to look cohesive as well as being aesthetically pleasing. So here we go. There we have my name, Tony, otherwise known as Rez the Collector. Here we have a picture that was done, one of those like street spray paint things my brother had done for me. A guy at his work used to do that. You can see Superman flying right up there in the corner. Now this is the top of the big display case. This used to have all of my Hot Toys / Sideshow boxes on top, and you can still see the Christopher Reeve there in the back. But what I did is I opened up the whole top, put some of the stuff up there. That way it let more light filter down into the rest of the case, as well as not looking so crowded up there and giving me a lot of space to use for, just random pieces of collectibles instead of empty boxes, though they were very cool to look at because they all had the S on it in some way, different designs. I mean, they were very cool, but it was time for a change. So you can see here we've got a Superman bust bank that I painted red to be Superman red, Superman blue. There's the matching there. We've got the two Mattel Doomsdays up there, the containment suit and the Unleashed. We've got my custom Kryptonian command key that I made, and we'll be selling those very soon. We have two Hot Toys up there. We've got Jor-El on one side and the Superman from Man of Steel on the other. We've got my three bobbleheads on top of the display for the Kryptonian Fortress key. And then we've got the Big Figs back there, classic costume, and the Fleischer costume. So there we go, that's the top of the case. Now I've got a lot of strong lights in here, so I apologize. There's going to be a lot of focusing and whatnot. As you can see here, top shelf, we've got the Icon Heroes Classic and the Rebirth. Now I do intend to be doing reviews on those very soon. We've got some chess pieces. We have the Superman from the Ultimate Showdown set, Kotobukiya Newton 52 Superman, my custom 1/6 scale Justice League Superman cape and belt display. We've got the Fortress of Solitude globe back there, and in front of that we have the SDCC 2017 Bottle City of Candor. We have a Tim Bruckner Supergirl miniature statue there. Again, sorry about the focusing. Supergirl bust, Supergirl Kotobukiya. The other half of that Ultimate Showdown, there's the Bizarro. Kingdom Come Superman, the Mini Bowen, a Superman 3D puzzle, and a Supergirl anime type thing. And then, of course, the Eagle Mosses out in the front. Next shelf. We have, at the front, we've got my version of Superman Through the Ages. We've got First Appearance. Sorry guys, trying to get this to focus. Fleischer. Earth 2. Classic Earth 1. Kingdom Come. And my custom Superman at Earth's End. Behind that we have the Superpowers Kotobukiya. We've got one half of the Jim Lee bookends. Little Superman Who's Who, the animated series Man of Steel, Superman New 52 Icons, Action Comics #1 Man of Steel, Frank Quietly Man of Steel, Lee Bermeal, I screwed that up. Iron Studio Superman, very, very cool piece. I think that's the CoverGirl's Supergirl. Fleischer, Man of Steel, Superman, that is actually an artist proof, number 3. The Lois and Superman flying, that's also a Fleischer. As you can see, I've got all 3 of my Fleischers lined up, except for the big figs, of course, up there. Another very cool New 52 Man of Steel statue, and I think that's the Man of Steel Mobius there. I might be wrong on the name. Next shelf, we have the Man of Steel Frank Miller. So sorry, guys. Trying to get this to focus and not be dark. It's being a pain in the butt. Okay, there we go. Frank Miller. Bombshell Supergirl. I think it's Bombshell, right? Whatever. Out front, we've got some of the little statues, little plastic statues. We've got the Kotobukiya Superman for tomorrow. We've got the Hot Toys Christopher Reeve base, coupled with the NECA 7-inch Christopher Reeve, along with the Crypto from a model. We've got 2 Icon Superman Fortress robots working there, so that's a cool little display, I feel. Here we've got Superman versus Muhammad Ali and the Superman family statue with an addition of Crypto and Streaky the Super Cat. A couple of the Man of Steel little plastic statues that came with the Blu-ray. Superman Man versus Machine, the Man of Steel Ed McGuinness, another Eagle Moss, and the Kotobukiya Man of Steel. Bottom shelf. This is where the goodness really is. This is my favorite shelf in the entire collection. Of course, you can see there the premium format Superman statue and my garage statue custom from Simon. We've got the full-size Superman Wonder Woman Kiss statue. Thank you again so much, Mr. Bruckner. We've got the Superman versus Doomsday versus Darkseid, the 2nd edition. While I really love this piece, I do wish that it had the paint scheme that they'd originally showed in the prototype. The Sideshow Superman, a lot of people have a lot of hate for this figure, but if you pose it right, it looks good. My Hot Toys Superman, we've got the Christopher Reeve, the evil Christopher Reeve, and the Henry Cavill from Batman v Superman. Out in front of that, we've got the Rockefort, the Gary Frank, and the Earth 1 Man of Steel Superman statues. Superman versus Brainiac, the Christopher Reeve NECA 1/4 scale, and last but certainly not least, one of my newest pickups. I actually sold some stuff to get this. That is the Gary Frank Superman and Lois, sculpted by Tim Bruckner, who again, Tim is responsible for probably a good like 60% of my Superman collection, if not more. And this right now is, of course, my favorite piece of his. I love the artwork by Gary Frank, and the sculpting by Mr. Bruckner is just flat out amazing. Definitely a cool piece. This will also be reviewed very soon. All right, that is the big display case. Moving over to my custom display case. As you can see here, it's got the Daily Planet logo on it. Up here, it's got the Superman logo. This side, we've got a couple of things. And this side, we've got the Superman S-Shield through the years. Up top, there's that model that the Crypto came from. I was never happy with my paint job, so I ended up just bronzing it out, and I'm much happier with it now. Superman record, and an in-package Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Up top here, you can see this is where my figure collection starts. And most of these speak for themselves, so one thing, that is my Justice Lords custom. I also have a custom figure of it, but you can see here is the original and the customization. Here you can see, well, there's the new Supergirl icon statue, or icons figure, which is just amazing. And it's our first real figure that gives us a kind of traditional Supergirl, closest to like the Matrix Supergirl. I'm very, very happy with it. I do want to pick up another one because I do have 2 displays. I've got this one, and then I've got the icon figures in the next display cabinet. I've also got the Icon Superman Rebirth that came with a 7-pack here. Back there you can see the other Justice Lords out of the New 52 Superman. And then some of my favorite Superman figures are on this level. All right, next level. Excuse me. As you can see, more figures. We've got Ultraman, we've got Blackest Night, both Earth 1 and Earth 2 Superman. We've got various Steel figures. We've got Superman Red, Superman Blue. We've got Superman Beyond. Just a lot of amazing figures on this level. And then again on this level as well. You can see this is where the majority of my female figures are. Supergirls, Lois Lanes, a few random Supermans and my Superboys. So you can see that this is basically the younger shelf. But I'm really happy with how everything came out. The way I've got everything organized in here, it really allowed light to kind of seep through the entire cabinet. This right here is actually a lamp. Very cool statue in and of itself, but the fact that it's a lamp, and I'm sorry, you can see cords right there. I need to hang better or hide better, but yeah, what I did with this is I just set it up there, and then it just filters that light all the way through, along with the deodor lights from IKEA and the really crappy rope light from Walmart. All right, on to the DC cabinet. Now, as you can see here, we've got a lot of collect and connect figures up here. We've got Calabac from the Superpowers line. We have the Anti-Monitor. We've got New 52 Doomsday, and we've got Batman's BattleBot. I did some customization to this as well. You can see here the damage on the robot. I went ahead and added some stuff to it so it just wasn't pitted armor, but it actually looked like it was recently in battle with, you know, darkened spots for heat vision and whatnot. All right, other than Superman, my favorite character in DC is probably the Flash. As you can see here, I've got what I think is a cool little Flash display. Got the emblem there. We've got basically all of my Flash figures except for one of my Icons Flashes. You can see I actually have 3 of them. The first one I bought through BBTS, and one of the wings on his head broke. So, you know, I sent them, they sent me a replacement figure. Didn't send me like the extra hands or the cosmic treadwheel, but another figure. So I've got 2 of those, and then I've got the one from the Rebirth pack that's got the yellow lining. And actually I'm pretty happy about this because I've been wanting to do a Flash army build for a while where, you know, you could do a display where basically the Flash is hitting everyone at once, and I've got all the figures to make it look like he's moving at super speed. So that is something I'm definitely looking forward to doing at some point. As you can see here, the next level is Batman. We've got the Bat and his sidekicks. Basically from Dick Grayson all the way to the Dark Knight Returns Robin Carey. We've also got Owlman pimping in there a couple different ways. Next, this is my Icons level. Basically, all of my Icons figures are in here except for that Superman, Supergirl, and those 2 Flashes. And there's a couple additional figures thrown in here because I really had no other place to put them, like my additional Lanterns and my additional Wonder Woman. Last on this level is the villains. Excuse me again. Now, as you can see here, we've got Luthors, Ultramen, Bizarros, Brainiacs, Parasites. They're all there, they're all bad, and they're all just waiting for their opportunity to do bad things, I guess. I don't know. So there you go, there's the villains. Excuse me, I can't seem to keep my throat clear. This is, of course, my Batcave from Batman v Superman. It was on clearance at Walmart for 25 bucks, and basically my son gets to play with that when we're in this room. All right. There we have the 6 Superpowers figures. I got a really great deal on those. Got them for like 13 bucks a piece off Walmart.com. So if you're looking to pick those up, hit Walmart.com. They're going to be $5 shipping each, but it's still, you're getting each figure for under 20 bucks. And definitely something I needed to have. I originally only bought Mixilus Pitalik, the Gold, and the Standard Superman. But then I had, you know, basically half of Calabac built. And I was like, well, let me see how much they are online. And I looked, and basically to get the other pieces, it was just as expensive to go ahead and go back to Walmart and just buy the figures. So I went ahead and bought the other 3 figures, finished off Calabac, and there you go. All right, we've got Christopher Reeve, Multiverse Superman, Action Comics Superman #1. Christopher Reeve, another 7-inch NECA, and a Crisis, the minifigure Superman. We've got this Flash figure signed by Michael Rosenbaum, the voice of the Flash in the Justice League cartoon, also played Lex Luthor in Smallville. Out front here, you can see we've got my Justice League busts. Those are all puzzles that were put together. In front of those are the little metal figurines that came out recently. A couple of Batman things there on the side, some Pez dispensers, and an old Superman watch. Here we have artwork by R.A.K. He was actually the first person I ever bought anything from at Comic-Con. And I make sure I stop by him every year and buy at least one piece. We've got more Crisis figures. We've got Death of Supergirl, Living Supergirl, and Power Girl. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a nice big look at this wall before we go over it, because I'm really happy with this wall. This wall came out really well. So there you go. There is the Superman figure artwork collage wall, basically. So let's take a closer look. As you can see here, we've got the Justice League Classic Icons figures, a couple of Superman coffee mugs, my video games, and my DC Animated Universe videos, as well as the Tome of Bill, Book 1 and Book 5. Both signed by the author, really cool guy. Definitely if you're looking for an urban fantasy book, sort of like Jim Butcher, but a little bit more crude, definitely pick up those books. They are a great read. Alright, we've got the Jim Lee sketch Superman figure. We've got the Trinity signed by Dean Cain, and the Justice League based on the art by Alex Ross, based on the art of Alex Ross, and sculpted, of course, by Mr. Tim Bruckner. Alright, we've got the actual first piece of my collection. Right there, bought that at Kmart in like 2002. Tin Sign, Black Suit Superman, All-Star Superman, larger versions of R.A.K.'s artwork, as well as some stamps my wife got me. Cool little canvas Superman picture. Spare icons. Alex Ross Justice League. The greatest moment from Superman 3. This is a very cool piece of artwork I picked up at Comic-Con this year. It is signed by the artist. Of course, we've got the Return of Superman coming here now. As you can see, I have all 10 figures in the set. Now, one thing I don't like is I think that the Cyborg should have been an orange back. I don't understand why he's a green back. He should have been orange with Return of Superman. Maybe because he, popped up before that as Hank Henshaw. Maybe that's the reason they did it, but I still think he should have been an orange back. You can see here's just a Superman wall. It's made of wood. I got him at Ross, Dressed for Less. Very cool place to find discount figures and artwork. The original Superman the movie poster. Another one by that same artist that did the three here, also signed. One of my favorite pieces of art in my collection. This is the first appearance of Supergirl in poster form, of course, and signed by both Adam Baldwin, who did the voice of Superman in DC Online, and Summer Glau, who did the voice of Supergirl in Superman Unbound. Yet another classic cover art piece here. This one is got to be from the 1940s, and it shows Superman fighting off the Japanese or the Germans. Here we have New 52 Superman, drawn by George Perez and signed by George Perez. We've got Superman Kryptonite No More, signed by Neil Adams. We've got a original Superman piece signed by the artist I got at Comic-Con, and another original Superman piece signed by Mike Gonzalez, one very, very good up-and-coming Superman artist, both sculptor and on paper. We've got a classic Wizard cover there, Superman vs. Spider-Man. We've got a cover of Superman #1 in tin form. Another particle board piece of art. We've got various cups and a clock. Little science doohickey thing that I got a long time ago. And then finally the Marvel collection. As you can see, it's quite small. Most of it is fodder to sell, and there you go. Alright, Justice League poster. And so ends the comic books. Here we move to Star Wars. As you can see here, I've got a lot of the Black Series figures. I've got a bunch of exclusives and things up top here that are basically sell bait at some point. Got original release R2-D2 Black Series, the Leia in Disguise original release Black Series, TIE Fighter, Air Hogs, no Hot Wheels ships. This Chewbacca here is signed by Peter Mayhew, and this is an exclusive from GameStop that came out with the original Force Unleashed game. Alright, as you can see here, we have all of my Sith Lords up front. And then all the troopers lined up behind them. Now, what I used to do with my good guys is I had them in a half circle surrounding the original three, Leia, Luke, and Han. But when I tried to reset this up on this side of the room, everything just kept falling. Every time I'd get down to the last figure, I'd hit something and they'd all come tumbling down. So I basically just decided to mimic my above setup with the Sith Lords. Sorry guys, I'm trying desperately to get a good focus and light here. So as you can see, we've got all my Jedi down here at the bottom, all the way up to the Last Jedi. And then we've got various Resistance, Rebellion forces behind them. Alright. Now, the last of the Star Wars is my 40th anniversary in-package stuff. As you can see, I've got 4 R5-D4s. I've got 2 spare 40th anniversary R2-D2s. And I've got Vader and Leia. I have more R2-D2s coming. I pre-ordered some more, so I'm going to have like 6 of those, I think. 4 of those. So at some point I will be offloading these online and making some money for future Superman collectibles. So there you go. There's the 40th anniversary Star Wars stuff. And lastly, my last case, as you can see here, we got some little more Star Wars stuff on top. We got a Vader, we've got a what was a popcorn tin, and then we've got into Transformers. So there you go, there's Cup. Now coming down, this is the Transformers He-Man Thundercats leader level. As you can see here, we've got He-Man, Lion-O, Hot Rod, Ultra Magnus, and Optimus Prime. Next level is basically the Grunt level. Then we come down to the bad guy leaders. We've got Megatron, Soundwave, or Sound Blast, yeah, Soundwave. Yeah, Soundwave. Galvatron, we've got Skeletor, and we've got Mom-Ra. And then down to the Evil Lackeys level, you can see Evelyn, and a bunch of Decepticons. Alright, I did this in about half the time of the last video, and I do apologize for how probably shaky this is, because I'm, holding this, doing it with my hands, trying to get it done quickly. But that is my collection. Take one final kind of look over everything. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. There are going to be new reviews coming. And to all of my old subscribers, I am sorry I've been away so long. Again, we had a lot of big life events go on. But I'm back now, and reviews are going to be starting very soon, so look out for those. Of course, rate and comment on this video, please. And again, if you aren't a current subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because there is going to be new reviews coming your way. Alright everybody, I am Rez the Collector. This was my collection update for October 2nd, 2017. I want to thank you very much for sticking with me and watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.